Good evening and welcome to our 2020 Windsor High School Football Awards ceremony. I guess we're ending the season the way we began it with a virtual meeting together as a group of people. Thank you for joining us tonight and helping us celebrate our 2020 Windsor football program together. This past season will be remembered for how we all came together and moved the train tracks together. That was one of the themes during our early workouts together this summer. One night during one of our many 10-to-1 ratio workouts, we set the record this year in the state for the most 10-to-1 ratio workouts. We're first place in that division. But one night during one of those workouts, we closed practice with the following question for the players. Would you rather be the person responsible for placing the railroad tracks in place, or would you rather be the conductor for the train? And that, my friends, sums up pretty much what we had to do all season. Embrace the role of the person who has to continually move the railroad track to keep things moving forward. Our program, families, community, state, and beyond needed to live in the world of those who placed the railroad tracks in place. There were plenty of times when everyone in this room was faced, that's funny, everyone in this room, it's just me, when every one of you were faced with some heavy lifting just to make it through your daily lives. Just a small statistic. 3 feet of standard railroad track weighs approximately 130 pounds. So for us to get a first down, each player would have to pull 1,300 pounds, 10 yards. That's not right. He would pull 130 pounds, 10 yards or 30 feet. But I think you get what I'm talking about. It's some pretty heavy lifting. As we press forward the past 9 months, we have all made adjustments, sacrifices, and at times we were left at a loss as we faced off against our ever-changing health epidemic. We all kept our heads down. We moved track. We moved more track. And guess what? We asked you to do it again. We moved that same piece of track, and guess what? We put that same piece of track back where we originally started because that's where it needed to go. Our job of moving track still proceeds. We were not willing to accept our environment. We did accept our job as the people who are going to move the railroad track. We planned for this and we replanned for that. And after many somewhat disheartening moments, our perseverance was rewarded with the potential of having football being played in the fall. When our school received the call that we were going to be playing football during this fall, our community football family sprung into action without hesitation, and everyone chipped in to help out with our movement of the railroad tracks. Each day provided each of us with a new obstacle we would need to overcome. There are so many people to recognize this year, and that is a testament to who we are as a community and what we are willing to do for our Windsor football family. I wish to thank a few groups of people who made this journey easier to navigate and supplied our program with the might to continually move tracks every day. Now we have close to 100 people's names on this list. So I kind of broke them down into groups, and I thought this would be a good way to recognize our people. And hopefully those who are involved with specific activities within our program recognize who you are. We had our football parents. You were parents. You took care of your kids. You kept them healthy. Football players. You did your job. And it's still going on right now. You have a challenging job. You still must do your work. We had football managers, football trainers, football teachers, football administrators, football supporters, football fans, football nurses, those who came and checked temperatures for us on a weekly basis. We had our football custodians, those who came out to practice and made sure that our equipment was sanitized every 30 minutes so we could fall within the district's guidelines for practicing under these extreme conditions. We had football warehouse managers. That was a lot of people that day, where Saturday, everyone came in, emptied the trailer, put stuff back in there, the equipment, uniforms, all organized in record time. That was an amazing gift to our program. We had our football videographers, those who shot our videos for our games. We had our football photographers on sidelines for all three levels of our games, getting to see what it's like to coach and play with masks on and battle with us as we work through each game. We had our football equipment managers, those who helped us pass out equipment on pass out day, and those who helped us collect that equipment. And some of them are still cleaning the equipment today. We had our football nutritional services, those who provided food and snacks for our players after games. We had football weights and measurements professionals, those who helped us produce a roster for this year's team. And those other measurement officials who I think could have stretched the chains a little shorter or a little tighter at times, but those who were the chain gang people at our games. We had our football financial planners and just a few people who set up a fundraiser for us to help us raise a few resources for our program, which will be much needed in the future. We also had some football financial donors, people who donated their time, resources, and financial capabilities to our program. We had football advertisers. People in our advertising department did a wonderful job promoting our team. We also have football media services, communications, and our virtual platform specialists. And I think you know who you are. We are grateful for all of you who chipped in this year and made this a memorable fall football season. I would like to recognize our coaching staff. This group of men were flexible, reliable, committed, and persistent in their efforts to stay connected to our student athletes during a difficult time. These men juggled work, time, health, personal plans, and their families to help our players through the past 9 months. I'd like to thank these people for their time and energy spent with our players this fall. Coach Derek Ruff, Brian Ash, David Vermuel, Mark Keyworth, Jim Switzer, Rhett Polka, Brandon Bush, Brent Rizzuto, Sam Bossart, Joe Collier, and Coach Michael Thompson. I'd like to also thank their families for staying with their men in their journey as they provided safety and psychological assistance and support for their football players. I apologize if we've missed anyone who contributed to our program this fall. There were so many people that came to the forefront and helped us through this journey. We hope you enjoy the presentation. If there are any questions concerning our presentation or if we missed anything, please reach out to us and we'll get back to you quickly. I'd like to give you a short breakdown of our offense for our 2020 football season. Well, with about 10 practices to prepare for the 2020 football season, the Windsor offense came out firing on all cylinders, off to a 4-0 start. The numbers on the scoreboard were supported by a stifling defense and an enthusiastic effort by a group of special team contributors. At year's end, the Windsor offense averaged 273 yards per game on the ground, ranked 8th in 4A. Our overall offense averaged 339 yards per game, 12th in 4A. Windsor was 11th in 4A in scoring at 31.7 points per game. We were 5th in 4A rushing touchdowns with 23. The offensive line under Coach Rizzuto paved the way for these statistics with their execution and aggressive approach to our style of play. Coach Mark Keyworth led a group of hungry physical wide receivers that impacted our play-action passing attack greatly. Coach Jim Switzer created a group of running backs who wanted to block first and score touchdowns second. Coach Bossart, in his second year with the quarterbacks, made plenty of well-timed play calls for the Windsor offensive attack. He also kept a solid grasp on the offensive huddle. The players pride themselves on their improved blocking skills this season, which provided some exciting moments this fall. We look forward to the future as we continue to put our athletes in positions to make plays for one another. I can take us all back to that exciting Erie game and what a wonderful moment that was. And what a great experience for all of us involved to battle together, fight through 4 quarters, tied at the end, take it into overtime, score, they score, defense stops them, we score, we win. What a great moment for our program. Very proud of all the coaches on the offensive side of the ball who were supported equally by the defensive coaching staff.
Okay, and now I will recap the varsity defense. First, I'd like to say that just proud of each and every one of you for coming out and giving it your all in practice and in the games. Just a little something from the past 3 years. Going back 3 years ago, we averaged giving up 24 points a game. 2 years ago was 18 points a game. And then this last season was 14 points a game. So we're making huge strides defensively, and that's because of your effort and your willingness to learn and adapt. We had multiple players playing multiple positions on defense, and that's really all we could ask for you guys to just show up and contribute to the overall defense and not worried about playing your position, okay? So it's really a team effort, and this year was just a pleasure to have each and every one of you. Thank you.
Hey everybody, Coach Rizzuto. I'm going to talk about our varsity offensive player of the year. This young man played multiple positions in our backfield, which tells you about his football intelligence and his work ethic and practice as far as knowing all the positions. We could always count on him to do the right things at each of those positions and give us his all-out 100% effort. So I'll give you a couple stats on the season. Total rushing yards, 578 at 6.6 yards per carry, equated to 13 touchdowns, as well as a receiving average of 22 yards per reception. Looking forward to another good year from this young man next year. Offensive Player of the Year, Dax Polk.
All right, time to talk about the Defensive Player of the Year for varsity. So I'll give you some quick stats on what this guy did numbers-wise for us on defense. He had 28 solo tackles, 21 assists, had 3 sacks, 5 tackles for loss, 1 interception, and caused 2 forced fumbles. I can tell you that I had the opportunity to work with this guy every day because he's an inside linebacker, and the energy that this guy brings, not only to game day but also practice, was amazing. And always a guy that wanted to be on the field. I needed to pull him off the field just to get him rest because he's also doing double time playing for us on offensive line. So I know I'd have to physically tell him that he's coming off the field and pull him off the field because he just didn't want to leave. So this guy competes, offense, defense, makes plays for us on defense, earned the respect of his teammates, enough so that they voted him Defensive Player of the Year for us this year, and that award goes to Hunter Peck.
Hello everyone, I'm here to announce our all-conference players. We had 6 players make all-conference. Jaden Kennis at safety, Hunter Peck at guard, Nate Saunders at defensive tackle, Connor Wade at linebacker, Zach Bucky at defensive back, and Dax Polk at running back. Great job guys, congratulations.
The following players have been recognized as all-conference honorable mention for the 2020 football season. At running back, Jaden Thomas. At defensive line, Morgan Roper. At kicker, David Hogman. At center, Troy Little. And at linebacker, Connor Shanowski. Congratulations, gentlemen.
I'm happy to announce that we'll have 2 defensive players that will be representing Windsor at the All-State game and 1 alternate. The 2 participants will be Hunter Peck and Connor Waite. And the alternate will be Jaden Kinnis. Congratulations to you three.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for the Academic All-State and Honorable Mention Award winners. A quick note before I get to those who have received this honor. These young men embody what it means to be a student athlete here at Windsor High School. We tell them all the time, before we can get things done on the field, they first have to get it done in the classroom. And this is very much what this group has been able to do. First, the honorable mentions. In order to be an honorable mention Academic All-State, you need to have a GPA between a 3.3 and 3.59. It goes to juniors and seniors, but they also have to be letter award winners in that sport. This year's Academic All-State honorable mentions are Josh Neiman, Connor Waite, Jackson Lewis, and Evan Zapp. Congratulations to those four young men. Next, the Academic All-State. For this group, a little bit higher GPA restrictions here. You need to have a GPA of 3.6 or higher, and still must be a junior or senior, and also have to have received a letter in their sport. Our winners of Academic All-State are Hunter Peck, Zach Blecky, Mitchell Langman, Danny Miller, and Izzy Strange. So congratulations, gentlemen, for your accomplishments both on the field and in the classroom.
And now, our list of 2020 letter award winners. Trevor Villapando, Jaden Thomas, Josh Taylor, Colton Rank, Braden Nichols, Levi Munn, Mitchell Madrill, John Kenny, David Hageman, Trey Botts, Evan Zaff, Isaiah Strange, Avery Schultz, Jake Rhodes, Dax Polka, Danny Miller, Austin Maldonado, Adam Lieber, Jackson Lewis, Mitchell Langman, Connor Shanowski, Kaysen Kingsbury, Ellis Jones, Brady Cardenas, Cole Brungart, Cody Bowman, Zach Blecky, Connor Waite, Raymond Vasquez, Kenneth Sleeth, Nate Saunders, Morgan Roper, Emily Reinert, Hunter Peck, Josh Neiman, Troy Little, Jaden Kennis, Harry Keene, Braden Heiss, Kevin Dreesen Jr., Jake Coakley, Morgan Brady. Jacob Bird.
Hello, I'm here to announce our most improved player, and we actually have two, Jackson Lewis and Connor Shanowski. Both of those guys are defensive guys, and for Jackson, he came in, played the first time on defense this year, played outside linebacker, which is a really difficult position in our defense. It's a hybrid position. We ask him to play a role as kind of a guy who plays down in the box to make tackles and force the ball back to our inside guys and then also play a true safety. And he just improved, came in and worked and just kept improving every week throughout the year. And we actually had to play him at safety at the end of the season, and he did a great job. Connor is just, man, that kid just works. We saw him keep working throughout practice, or throughout the season. Didn't start the season as a starter, worked his way into the starting position, and I think probably one of the best tacklers on the team. So great job, both of you guys. Keep working. Excited to see what you guys do next year.
Good evening. My name is Mark Keyworth, and I'm the wide receiver coach here at Windsor High School. I have the privilege and the honor of bestowing the Most Improved Player Award for the varsity in this year's 2020 season. One thing we have to realize is that inherently by definition, improvement requires transformation. That means doing something that you've never done before. Transformation in this case really is comprised of two main components. One's the mental. The mental is really about determination, the ability to grind. What that does, it opens up the pathway of the mind to allow muscle memory. That muscle memory is formed by all those practice reps and is inculcated into an innate type response system such that we can make plays at the right time. What makes this year's recipient's backstory even more compelling, even more extraordinary, is that they grew up having a vision of being on the football field as a quarterback, right? Being under center, throwing touchdown passes, and leading their team to victory on Friday nights. However, that probably wasn't going to happen in the 2020 season, but there was an opportunity to get on the field faster at the wide receiver position, and a need, right? A help, a sacrifice to achieve a greater and a team goal. Now this requires giving up that vision, right? To being able to adapt. That shows a lot of maturity to be actually to accept that challenge and go into the uncertainties, right? This is not the normal sort of improving in a skill set, right? Incrementally that you've been working on all your life, your football life, your young football life for the past 6 or 7 years. But learn an entirely new skill set, right? Complies, for example, of blocking. A quarterback doesn't block, right? There's an angle of attack, there's footwork, there's hand placement, right? The ability to, to run a route. Yes, do quarterbacks know the routes? Undoubtedly they do. But do they know how to run a route, right? The release, the stem, the cut, and overall catching the ball, right? How to position your body, your hands, and your eyes so that you can catch the ball no matter where it's thrown to you. So to undertake that challenge and those, with those uncertainties and unknown, that really goes against human nature, and it takes a lot of courage and determination to make that happen, accept that challenge. Well, that happened because, the first time that you try something new, you usually don't do it very well. So it takes a number of reps, and there's this incremental failure feedback process. So not only do you have to overcome that initial fear, but then you have to have that introspection and that self-knowledge and confidence such that you can take what has happened in that last rep, figure out how to, make that next change. And to doing that with maximum effort, right? Most of us, when we try something new, we want to, dip our toe in the water, one piece at a time. This player, he was all out, maximum effort into the face of the unknown. That allowed him to accelerate his learning. At the same time, it slowed the game down. And finally, from a coaching perspective, is learning that the feedback that we were providing as coaches was meant to be supportive and help him achieve success in his goals. And it wasn't meant as, personal and pejorative. Well, taking all that into play is that this player was able to get on the field, in a very short period of time, over the summer, and here we were with COVID having interim practices, and he was able to crack the starting lineup on the very first game and become, one of the key fixtures in the wide receiver rotation this year. And as we watched him develop, you could just tell that he became that overall, a fierce blocker. He was out there, can take on any DB and, with that tenacity and that effort that we talked about. And that allowed his teammates to, scamper, through the line for 20, 30, 40 yards, right? Doing what we do best, eat up clock, moving the sticks, tiring out the defense. Then when it's time to, once they're tired, once they're playing up the run, just to throw over the top. He's catching passes for first downs and touchdowns, ultimately becoming the complete wide receiver, the complete football player. So, without further ado, it is my great honor to celebrate the achievements and the winning of this year's Most Improved Player Award to Jackson Lewis. Jackson, congratulations for all you did, all the work, all the uncertainties. It was a pleasure watching you grow, watching you play. And most importantly, I'd really like to recognize those underlying character traits that you developed as well, the ones that are going to carry you on much further than the end zone, right, as you go on in life. Number one, the ability to adapt. Number two, to apply maximum effort in the face of unknown. Number three, the desire to continuously improve. And number four, sacrifice for the greater good. Again, Jackson, thank you. Congratulations. Godspeed. Enjoy.
The We Before Me award goes to a player who played their role as a scout team player or special teams player with a positive attitude and a lot of effort. And this year that award goes to Raymond Vasquez. And Raymond was a kid that he did whatever we asked of him in practice. If we needed him to play a certain part on scout team, he was there and gave us all he had. I know he bounced around at a lot of different positions, but we always knew wherever we were putting him in practice, we were going to get 110%. So Raymond is our We Before Me player this year. Congratulations.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time it is my honor to present the Karen Suman Fighter Award. This goes to the player who overcame personal or physical obstacles and was always there for his teammates. I'm honored to give this award because I knew Karen as a teacher, went to school with her children. I know her story. And she is remembered not because of the disease which ultimately took her from us, but for the fight she gave it. She never gave up. Yes, there were setbacks, there was ups and downs, but she never stopped fighting. Karen's story is all of our stories. We all have personal setbacks. We all deal with personal loss and injury. But it's not about how many times we get knocked down in life that defines us. It's about how many times we get back up. This year's winner has dealt with adversity and injury, definitely. Years past, he had an elbow surgery. He had broken ribs, which he played 4 games with, and I've had experience playing games with broken ribs. They're not easy. It's a lot of pain. Before the year even began, we thought that we lost this young man to a knee injury in a 7-on-7 contest. He was sidelined by another ankle injury and ultimately had a broken wrist. But despite all of these setbacks, despite all of this personal injury, his goal was simple. It was always to come back, make it back to the field, and do everything that he could for his teammates, because that is what was important to him. I'm very honored again to present this award, and this year's winner of the Karen Suman Fighter Award goes to Kenny Sleeth. Congratulations, Kenny. You've earned it.
Now I will present the Jason Shedd Courage Award. This player demonstrated daily perseverance and practiced and played as if it were his last. I'm proud to say that this award goes to Connor Waite. It was a pleasure to see him practice, coming every day, giving it his all. Congratulations, Connor Waite.
We are down to our final award here for the 2020 Windsor High School football season. And this is a difficult award to be passing out as the head coach of this program. The Lucas Watts Never Outworked Award. It is with great honor and a sense of loss as I present the final award for this year's football awards ceremony. In a year that has had its share of unknown surprises, setbacks, and personal loss, our Windsor football family lost a legacy player. On June 2nd, 2020, Lucas Watts passed away in his sleep, and our Windsor football community was changed. The depth of Lucas Watt's commitment to Never Outworked is unparalleled. And when I think of how Lucas conducted himself throughout each of his life's endeavors, it is fitting that Never Outworked is named after Lucas Watts. Give you a little background on this and how he earned this. Go back to Lucas's sophomore year. Lucas and I had a talk during his sophomore year about the true meaning of Never Outworked. At the time, Lucas was a BC student and an excellent football player, athlete here at Windsor High School. As our discussion moved forward, I asked Lucas, "What's your personal philosophy?" Luke replied, "Why, it's never outwork, coach." I know my answer to his question caught him off guard. I told him, never outworked is not just a football philosophy. It's a core value that you can see in every facet of one's life. You cannot just put it into one avenue of your life. After that conversation, Luke became a changed young man. His grades started to climb. His attention to daily details became crystallized, and his daily purpose as a young man was clear to him. Lucas went from Windsor High School to Colorado State University, Pueblo. He earned a football scholarship to play football there. He was on a national championship Division II football team. He graduated with an undergraduate and master's degree in just 4 years. Upon graduation, Lucas found employment with Universal Forest Products and was sent off to the Pacific Northwest to begin cutting his teeth in sales. Lucas quickly earned several promotions and was recognized throughout the company as a dedicated and driven professional, one who those should look up to. His work habits soon caught the attention of Stryker Medical Devices. Hey, a new job, new people, new opportunity, but the same personal philosophy. Lucas went to work, and you can guess what happened there. Another promotion, more recognition, and more importantly, Lucas was impacting another group of men and women with our philosophy, which I will simply give to him now. The philosophy of Never Outworked is to be used in all phases of our lives. This award is about more than football. It's about family, community service, academics, commitment, sacrifice, leadership, and influencing those in our community. This young man, who's about to receive this award, exemplifies the intention behind this award, and he will move forward from these walls and continue to lead a life grounded by his own personal philosophy. And he too will be an outstanding ambassador from the town of Windsor, Colorado. The first Lucas Watts Never Outworked Award recipient is Hunter Peck. Congratulations, Hunter. Now, in conclusion, just a few final parting thoughts for us as we move forward into the off-season to prepare for next year's football. But first, I'd like to thank everyone who participated in our Lucas Watts Never Outworked Memorial Scholarship Fund this summer. The Windsor community and abroad raised over $40,000 for this scholarship fund. Each year, a student will receive a $1,000 check for use at the college of their choice. This student will resemble what Never Outworked is. I'd also like to thank the people who took part in our t-shirt sales this summer. We will do it again next summer. We raised $4,400 with our t-shirt sales that all went to this scholarship fund for Lucas Watts. Thank you all for opening your hearts to their family. And here we go. I'm going to finish with a little 3-part series here. First thing we need to do this off season is our vision. We need to fix your eyes. We need to fix your eyes. It begins with clarity. Clarity of vision is the key factor in personal, team, and community successes. In sports terms, all of our eyes need to be on the same target, the same goal. Where the eyes go, the head and body body will follow. We need to train your vision to be our vision. And it sounds easy when you put it on paper. We just have to take the letter Y off the letter your. And then suddenly we will all begin to witness the same goal. Second phase, service. We need to bend our knees. Our posture will impact our power. Blocking and tackling are the basics in football, and leverage is the key to winning our individual battles within a game. People and organizations who embrace the posture of serving others and putting their needs ahead of their own know the true feeling and understand what a family is all about. If we want to be great, we need to serve others first. And part 3, action. Bring your feet. Once we've set our vision and our posture, we will be prepared for the daily contacts that threaten us or take us away from our goal, our vision. Once we arrive, we must run our feet together in unison to bring a reaction to that contact. We need to be there for one another. The vision, posture, and action of this program, high school, and community are going to be challenged. Our faith in our community and our ability to react to these contacts will be tested over the next 9 months. We must stay dialed in on our targets, support those in need, and when they come after one of us, they need to feel the strength and relentless feet of our entire community. Every great vision has opposition, so your vision needs to have intentional action. 2 keys to victory are faith and hard work, belief in one another, and working together for a cause bigger than ourselves. Don't stop your feet. Hold that posture and keep your eyes trained on what lies ahead. One little verse for us from James 2:17. So also faith by itself, if it does not have works, is dead. Let's continue to be unified with our faith and commence with the works that keep our brotherhood strong. Thank you all for your unconditional support of Windsor High School football. Please enjoy the holidays with your families. Stay safe and healthy. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. No.